Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of From Page to Stage. I'm your host, Wendy Corner, and this podcast is for you if you are an author. If you're an author who has done the page bit and done the stage bit, welcome. We love to have stories of people who've done both, the inspirational people. We also love to speak to people who have done the page, maybe not quite so comfortable with the stage as yet, the aspirational people. If you are in either of those camps, you've done the page, you've done the stage, you've done both, you've done either, welcome. You're in the right place. Now, today, I have the joy and pleasure of introducing you to my friend, Sheri Mills. Now, Sheri is in Florida. Good, I remember. Yes. Sheri's in Florida. I knew she was on Eastern time, but it's remembering whereabouts and the geography of it. Now, as you can tell, I know a bit about Sheri, but she knows herself far better than I do. So I'm going to handball this one to you, Sheri. Tell us a bit about who you are and how you've got to this stage in life.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, Wendy, and thank you for having me. I had my professional career was as a busy sales executive, working tremendously long hours, lots of networking, chasing that almighty quota, right? So I didn't give myself grace or time to take care of myself. And my body fell into disrepair, multiple disease states. And I did have to take time off of work for MRIs and brain scans and all sorts of things. And nobody could tell me what was wrong with me, except I had fibromyalgia, I had IBS, I had high cholesterol, they didn't know why I was having visual migraines. They didn't call it that. They didn't know why my vision kept going away. I had, fibromyalgia, arthritis. I was on a bunch of medication. And doctors are really not in the business for healthcare. I think it's run by big pharma and insurance companies, right? So it's all about prescribing medicine and cutting you open. That's all they know. So they never really got schooled in nutrition or lifestyle to be healthy. So it's more of a disease management system.
Sure.
And I fell into the disease management system and I was miserable, and I just put on my face and went out and kept smiling and worked through the pain. And about 4 years ago, and what's really funny is in 2019, which would be 5 years ago, I actually was partially paralyzed for 4 months.
Whoa.
Because of all this pain that I was in. And that didn't even trigger anything in me. You know, I was looking to the medical community to help me. And about 4 years ago, I stopped by, when things started opening up, I stopped by one of my pharmacy friends, pharmacist, who was going to carry my CBD products because I had left my job. I was burned out and I got into CBD and medical marijuana. And then that fell apart. I had a bad partner. And I started my own, or was trying to, but that wasn't the time to raise money. So I stopped by to say hi, and he introduced me to a contraption called the biophotonic scanner.
Okay.
And scanned me. It's a 30-second painless scan. I failed miserably, like most people do, because we eat processed food and crap food and fast food, and everything's about fast and getting it done, and try to work it in the schedule. It's not about enjoying your food, right? And learning to love the whole experience. So I ended up being introduced to some amazing supplements that have high bioavailability. I changed my mindset to food, and I changed what I ate when I ate, which was the big factor. And I took myself off of 12 medications to see if what I was doing, was actually working. And I have not gone back on them. And so it changed my life. And about 4 months into my journey, my body was healing. And I was building up the antioxidants in my body to support my immune system. My pain was going away. My cholesterol dropped from 310 to 160 in 3 months.
Whoa.
My I had gone bald during the pandemic. My hair grew back, my skin firmed up. The pain was lessening more and more. And after 6 months, my vision completely cleared and I had no more pain.
Mm.
And my score had quadrupled. So I knew I was on the right path.
Yeah.
And so about month 4, when your body's healing, 42 pounds that I had not been able to release from my body for 20 years just fell off in 6 weeks.
42 pounds.
In 6 weeks, and I have not gained it back.
Okay, now for those of us who think in kilos, 42 pounds is roughly 90 kilos.
It's a lot.
That's more than I weigh.
Yeah. So it's amazing when your body starts the healing process, how things just flip on a dime for you and change. And that inspired me to go to functional medicine school so I could be certified to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what started my journey. And I figured at 60, if I could turn my health around like that, I wanted to focus my efforts on people that have chronic pain and illness that are about 45 to 70 years old. They're busy. They're not taking care of themselves. Show them how they can build self-care and eat properly and how to eat and what times to eat into their daily schedule. So it's not a task. It's not hard. It's not overwhelming. And it's not a diet, right?
That's the thing, isn't it? Diet.
Yes.
Think about diet.
Well, and you think about diet, the first thing you think about is I'm doing it to lose weight, right?
Yes.
What happens when we lose things?
You want to find them back again.
We always find them back.
Yep.
And if you're on a diet, whether it's keto or whatever it is you're on, Weight Watchers or all this crap, this processed food that you're eating, I can't imagine anybody losing weight on it, but it's not sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're eventually going to stop that and go back to living life.
Yeah.
And what happens is you gain that weight back plus.
Yes.
Because your body hasn't changed. You haven't built a sustainable lifestyle that's easy and enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And that's what I help my clients with.
Easy and enjoyable. Are you hearing that, audience? Doesn't that make a difference? It does. By the way, guys, I've just realized I put my maths in the wrong direction. It wasn't 90 kilos. It was about 20 kilos.
I was about to say 90 sounded like an awful lot.
Well, I got the 2.2 pounds per kilo, and I went the other way around. So nonetheless, 20 kilos.
I thought 90 sounded like a lot.
Yeah, 20 kilos is still significant. Forgive the mental flip there. But yes, you say it's easy. It feels doable. I mean, I think the overwhelm thing is a big deal, isn't it? When you're faced with something like 12 meds that you came off, all of those diseases that you were handling, those conditions, and you go, well, how on earth am I going to eat this elephant? But you're telling us that you did it one bite at a time, and you can do it so easily when you follow a healthy plan, not a diet.
Yeah.
A healthy plan. Beautiful.
And you don't miss the things that you used to do. No. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because your body is changing internally and your mind's changing. Very rarely have I ever felt like I needed to go back to something, right? You know, I'll treat myself every now and then. I'm not fanatic about it anymore. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I'll never forget, I guess I was 3 months in and I was craving fish and chips. And there's a restaurant around the corner that makes the best English fish and chips. Uh-huh. And so I went. They were delicious, but my body rebelled for a week.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because once you don't have that kind of food, your body's like thanking you. So when you go back to doing these things, it tells you, nah.
Can't do that again.
No more of that.
Please, no. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so that was your journey in terms of your wellness.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a From Page to Stage podcast. So, is that what prompted you to write your book?
So I did a collaboration book.
Yes.
One of my coaches invited me in to do it and tell my story. And it was quite freeing. I was a little intimidated. I'm not a writer, never have claimed to be.
You weren't, but you are now. Yes.
I am now.
Yeah.
And telling that transformation and I started it when I came home from work and I reached down to pick up my little 9-pound dog and I couldn't get back up. And I dropped her and I ended up living in a zero gravity chair for 4 months because I couldn't sit up straight. God forbid I try to lean forward a little bit. The pain was so intense. And I have a high tolerance to pain. So it was really hard. And living by yourself, trying to take care of yourself when you're in this position wasn't any fun either.
Yeah.
So finding that ability in the next 7 months to be able to really have that aha moment by just putting my hand on a little test, something about connecting with a machine that's going to tell you how screwed up you are or not, right? I use it in my practice when I can. It's like my wellness meter. It's my health check. Let's see where you are now. And then let's revisit it every 2 months to see where you are going to be.
So this is the story that you told in your chapter.
Mm-hmm.
When did the book come out?
The book came out, I think it's been about a year. Okay. It's been about a year now. Cool. Yeah. Cool. And it's called Overcoming Mediocrity.
Nice.
Epic Women. Christy Ruffino has put out, I think, 12 of these now.
Yes.
And each one has a different title. So she's moving on to a different brand of book now. But it's wonderful being able to meet all these women and learn their stories and, share our gifts with the world. So that was kind of interesting and fun.
So is your target group, the people that you work with, are they all women?
No, I work with men and women.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, I find women are harder to work with. And I'll tell you why. We were raised to take care of others.
Yes.
So I find women will go and spend $1,000 on nails, hair, and clothes, but they won't spend any money on themselves for internal health reasons. They don't feel valued. They don't feel they're worth it. We've all had trauma and drama in our lives.
So these are the external things that are trying to make me feel validated rather than the going within. Yes.
Exactly. So I do find it's for them to release and let go and actually experience this. It's hard to get them past that one hook where men tend to listen and really apply it. Sometimes it takes a couple months. I know one of my clients took me 3 months to get him away from the deli at the grocery store.
Okay.
He goes, but I'm not eating bread. There's nothing healthy in that deli. There's no such thing as a chicken breast this big that can be perfectly sliced all the way through. That is discombobulated and put back together with all sorts of processed stuff, right? Yes. So once he got off the deli, his weight started plummeting. He started feeling better. The inflammation started going away. He was eating more fruits and vegetables. And it's amazing. He's down 126 pounds now.
Wow. So do you find then in terms of achieving success with your clients that it's primarily the mindset stuff?
Yeah, it really is. It is so much the mindset, and I work with them. I don't tell them what to do. I work with them. I give them tools. I ask them to journal. I teach them how to listen to their body and write down what comes up. It could be my arthritis is flaring in my thumb. It could be my sciatica screaming. It could be I'm ringing in my ears, or it could be a stressor, right? Or it could be an emotion. We need to talk about those things because if that's consistent, we need to address that.
Yeah.
But I also have them do a food diary. What time did you eat and drink what? And then why was that your decision? So it's bringing self-awareness on their own by doing these, these tasks I give them. It really makes them self-aware.
Yes.
Because if you're not grabbing the self-awareness of your why, you can't change it.
No, because I think it's so much of what we do is on autopilot. And if we spend any time sitting in front of the TV, we are conditioned to go for all the crap in terms of what we feed
The chips
ourselves.
and the dips and the cookies and the milk.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at any long show on the telly, all the commercials, all the adverts are aimed at those dips and chips and all the let's mindlessly eat. And once you've opened a big bag of Doritos, before you know it, you've got to the bottom and hello, where did that go? Because you're not mindful. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I have them clean out their kitchen, their pantry, and their refrigerators, and set up fruit and nuts and easy to grab snacks on the counter instead of anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. So that was your first time out in terms of published author. Have you done any writing before that?
No.
So you didn't write as a child?
I was horrible at writing. I remember in the business world, I would format a couple emails or letters. It would take me forever.
Right.
And once I finally got it where I think I liked it, it was just reuse the same thing, just change the names, in the situations.
Sure.
I just was never a writer. Never.
Okay. It's not your zone of genius.
No, it's definitely not.
Got it. But of the speaking stuff, now when you were in corporate, I'm going to make a suggestion that you had quite a lot of speaking work to do with your sales.
I had a lot of speaking in front of my clients in boardrooms and stuff like that. I did have different times and levels of my career. I did have conferences that I spoke at, which were terrifying me, but I made it through. Back then it was, where you had the what was it called, where it's shown up behind you and you wrote on it. So as long as I was busy in showing, telling, basically, it made it easy for me to speak.
You remember the overhead projectors that you
That's it. Yeah. Where you
you and I are of similar vintage, my dear. Oh golly.
Absolutely.
Audience, if you're wondering what on earth we're talking about, pre the digital age, there used to be a machine that was basically a light box with a clear perspex lid over the top. And on there, you had a roll of clear cellophane, in effect. And over the top of it, there was a light so that it reflected, it projected onto a wall. And this was where, about PowerPoint and slides? Well, this was a precursor to that. And you did it in real time. Or you had your slides prepared on specific cellophane type things. And looking back on it now, it feels like before the ark.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? How did we live without cell phones? And
I know.
What's a fax machine anymore, right? So we've come so far.
So anyway, so this was what you were doing. So you were actually doing a fair amount of speaking before, hello, Puss. You were doing a fair amount of speaking before you got as far as the writing.
Yes.
Beautiful. So you started on the stage and then you went to the page. But you've got to do both, haven't you? If you've got the page,
really do.
You've still got to talk about it. So tell me, you've obviously had the book out for about a year. Are you still promoting the book?
No, I've been very bad at that. I need to do more of that. But I've had other things going on. I'm launching a whole new platform. So I've always done one-on-one counseling or working with clients. And I'm launching a 12-week group coaching online. So I've been reformatting everything and trying to take 6 months into 12 weeks. And that's launching next month. And so
by next month, can you give a date on that so that when people are watching this?
That's going to be July 23rd. That's going to be the starting, and it's going to run to October 15th, I believe.
Okay, and it'll
be on Tuesdays.
2024.
That's right.
this podcast is evergreen. People can watch it in future times. On that front,
That's
audience, the show notes are dynamic. So whenever you've watched something and you think, oh, hang on, what was coming up? You like the guest, keep checking back on the show notes, because when they bring something new out, the show notes change and update. And when the guests let me know, I will also ping up a social going, for that conversation I had with so-and-so. Well, Sheri's got a new thing going out. Go check it out. So please be aware that these are dynamic show notes. Beautiful. So you've got this program coming up, because I mean, the thing is that your book can almost be like a calling card saying, look, this is where it started. Come and see how it's progressed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Beautiful. So that starts in July.
Yes.
You're looking,
and then I'm doing a 3-day challenge prior to that, July 9th.
Right.
Where I take a few aspects of the program and give like teasers, but they have homework. They have to be interactive, and I give away lots of gifts with that. And so it should be a fun experience.
Is that going to be on Facebook?
Yes, it'll be on Facebook, and it will also be on LinkedIn.
Oh, right. You're doing it on both. So is that a live one, or is that a pre-recorded one?
It's going to be a Zoom. We all meet in a private community, because you want to hold safe space for everybody that joins the group program.
Sure.
So they will get the recordings. They'll have a recording library, my vault for recipes, my vault for all my guides, and they'll have a community of support. So I have a Facebook group too called Life Force 360, which is my program names. My 12-week program is body transformation, because it gives you the jump start to change your health.
Love it. Love it. Audience, go check this out, because I have to tell you that Sheri's recipes, there are some absolutely phenomenal ones in there. I can tell you, I've looked. Okay, so this is all that's coming out in July. Your Facebook challenge, your Zoom challenge, I should say. We'll be doing this in Eastern time?
Yes, Eastern time, 1 o'clock on Tuesdays.
Okay.
Starting July 9th through the 11th. Yes.
Right. Okay. So for those of us who are on the other side of the world, this will be something that we can link into through the recordings.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as you register, I've got a back office that runs my challenges. So if I holding it on Tuesday, on Wednesday, I can drop the recording for Tuesday. So anybody that's registered in the challenge and didn't make it can grab that recording the next day.
Great. Because the thing is, you can't have everybody up at the same time.
Right.
Not without somebody being up at.
I know. And I'm doing something interesting with my 12-week program, because I have people in Dubai, I have people in California, I have people all over. So I'm actually doing 2 meetings in one day. So I'm going to do 10 a.m. and I'm going to do 6 p.m.
Right.
So somebody that can't make the 10 can make the 6, can't make the 6 can make the 10.
Oh, that's
so lovely. It gives everybody an opportunity to join in.
Yes, yes, that's so important. I've just been linking a couple of people together before I came on the recording. One of them is on Pacific time and the other one is on Australian Eastern time, and they are currently 19 hours apart. Oh
yes, that gets testy, doesn't it?
Yes, well, if you're in New Zealand, it's then 21 hours difference, and you go, okay, this is fun. Okay,
so I thought of that. So I'm going to do two classes.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant.
They get to pick which one they want to join in.
Well, that's the thing in this day and age when we're all global.
Yes.
Here we are, literally on the opposite side of the world, and yet we're
absolutely
connected. Well done, internet. Thank you. Okay, so we know that you started on the stage. You've done the page now, and you're talking a bit more. Well, you've got a lot more to do on the stage. Beautiful. I've got to ask you, is there anything book-wise percolating? Not
at this time. I want to get past this launch. I've been invited to participate in several of them. It's just not on my radar right now. So it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Well, I mean, I suspect that your story that went in the first chapter was only a little bit of a teaser.
I've expanded it. I've written several chapters since then, so I have something started. So
yeah. So I mean, the thing is that as you're working with clients as well, you can write down those stories, those testimonial stories, and they become part of another book.
exactly.
Then you've got proof that it works. And as you say,
Yes.
it's not about a healthcare system, because they don't look after their health. They're looking after their bottom line, which they're invested in keeping you sick.
Yeah.
Frankly, contentious. But I think we're on the same page on that one. Okay. So now we know that, as I said, we've got the page, we've got the stage, we've got this wonderful program coming up, and the challenge that's before the program starts.
Yes, the challenge is before. It's the 9th for 3 days, and then the program actually starts the 23rd. So the challenge I wanted to do before, yeah, so people could get a taste of what it's going to be like working with me.
Oh, did you get that, audience? Taste, food, yeah, nice one.
And feel the comfort level to join in and really live the experience.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear the results of it, because I know what an impact it makes, making that mental shift in so many areas of life. Because that's one of the things that I do with this podcast, is because when you get an author who says, I'm an author, I'm not a speaker, and I go, okay, what's your definition of public speaking? And they say, well, it's a raised platform with a microphone and spouting forth. And I went, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't.
What? That's a very narrow definition of public speaking, just as you've experienced a very narrow definition of diet. It's expanding, isn't it? And once you get the expansion in your brain, then somebody said to me today, I overheard this wonderful quote, and I'm going to give it to you now. Stories are the software our brains run on.
They are.
So if we can work out what those stories are that we're telling ourselves, like your guy who goes to the deli, he can't do without the deli. Well, if you're not eating bread, then what are you going down there for anyway? It's in the story.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Just a shift.
But a very powerful one. A very powerful one. Yeah. Okay. So we've got that coming up. Is there... Oh, and I know. When you take your written information, and obviously you've got a lot of written information, because with your program, you'll have written backup, won't you? And you've got your wonderful recipes and all of that jazz. How do you then embody, take those words from the page when you're speaking to people on stage?
Well, when I do speaking at summits or different things, it's usually about a topic. It's not all topics, right? So it makes it a little easier. It's, you're taking, one topic like anti-inflammatory foods, why they're so important for our immune support, and making balanced meals, and then nutritional supplements and herbs that we can take to change our balance as well, right? There's just so many things. How to detox your kitchen, read labels, be mindful when you shop, be mindful when you eat, get away from the TV, light a candle, put on some nice smooth jazz, and enjoy your dinner. Taste, experience the textures and the smells, and it makes, like when we go to dinner, when we go out to dinner, you're usually having conversation with someone, you're eating slower, you're relishing in the food and the conversation and the company. You can do that at home.
Yes. When phones first came out, a group of us used to go out for I suppose networking. It was an after work nosh up, and people were getting onto their phones. So we organized a bit of a challenge. If there were parents on the table who really did need to keep in touch with family because they had small children, then fair enough, they were allowed to have their phone on the table. Everybody else, the phone had to go in their bags And whoever picked up the phone first picked up the tab for everyone.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yes, that was enough to make people think twice.
Mm-hmm. Because it's hard to go anywhere and not, even at restaurants, people are on the phones, the grocery store, everywhere. It drives me crazy. And they got the earpiece in.
People sitting opposite each other at an intimate meal, and they're actually texting and go, hello.
Yeah. This is supposed to be our time. Let's enjoy it, right? It's the same with your food.
Yes.
You know, it's not a second thought. Enjoy creating something beautiful and relishing in enjoying it, right? And loving that food experience again.
Yeah. Well, I can absolutely vouch for that, because there's a local market. It's about a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes walk from here, but I feel is worth it. I admit I don't do the wet market bit, because sort of seeing the cage of live chickens,
the
chopping board, and but the fruit and veg bit, love it. And finding some.
There's nothing better than going to a great farmer's market.
I know. Well, I actually picked up fresh bamboo shoots yesterday. I've only ever seen them in tin before. I tell you, that was yummy. I put that in a stir fry with fresh prawns, and it was delish.
I bet.
Go and enjoy your food. Really savor it, and the mindfulness is so important. Yeah,
that's one of the things I have my people do too. You have to do a day trip. Take your family, or your husband, or your spouse, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your neighbor, your work buddy. Spend the day at the farmer's market. Pick out something, because so many people won't try the vegetables they hated their mother made.
Broccoli.
And I'm here to tell you, my brother and I hated spinach because it came out of a frozen box. It was mush. Never had fresh spinach. Same thing with asparagus and Brussels sprouts. They were boiled to death. They were awful. And those are three of our favorite vegetables now, you know? And I tell people, I don't like Brussels sprouts. Well, did you notice that most of your restaurants you go to now have that as a specialty? There's a reason. Try them. Buy something that you hated as a child. Go home and Google a healthy recipe for that dish and make it together and try it.
We had in Australia, where I'm kind of based, Christmas is full summer. It could be 90, 100 degrees. It's not the time that you want to sit and cook a full Christmas dinner. So they have Christmas in July instead, when it's winter and you feel like having all that wonderful comfort food. One of my friends said to me, I've never done a full Christmas dinner. Have you? I went, yeah. Would you come and help me? Of course. I said, are sprouts on the menu? Oh, no. I said, okay. Would you try it if I cook them specially for you? Okay. So I did. I did them with shallots, bacon, white wine, garlic. And the reactions around the table, because it was initially do I have to? Yes, you do. You know, back to mother, try it. And they went, oh, this is actually really good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Just depends on how
it's crazy. It's crazy how, my mother raised me thinking she was making a well-balanced meal. It had to have color on the plate. It had a protein, it had a vegetable, and it had a starch.
Yeah.
Right. But it was very bland. There's so much you can do to jazz up your food and really make it just an experience, right?
Tasty.
And it doesn't have to be hard. You can do one pan dishes.
Oh, yeah.
You can meal prep this stuff, go to the market, meal prep it all. I separate all my stuff, chop it up, get it ready. So when I'm ready to cook, it doesn't take me more than 20, 30 minutes.
Yes. Well, where I am at the moment, I'm living in Malaysia in an Airbnb. So I am the queen of the one pot wonder. Everything goes in the pot.
Yep.
Yeah. Beautiful. As you say, it doesn't have to be hard work. And part of it is the It doesn't have to be something that you buy from a store, you add hot water and you stick it in the microwave. No.
Yes, please. No.
Enjoy. And as you said, with the color and the tastes when you're using
And the textures and the flavors and the smells and
full sensory job.
Yeah.
And chewing. And
yes, don't inhale.
Yeah.
Savor.
Yes. Do you know what? I haven't had any breakfast yet. It's 10:10 in the morning, and I'm thinking,
I'm making you hungry.
You are. Anyway, sorry, audience. So we've kind of got on a bit of a tangent there. So when you take your stuff from page to stage, you're actually embodying it, aren't you? You're living what you say on the page. You're showing it by example. You're leading by example.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
And I think people relate better to someone that's been through it.
Oh, golly, yes.
Than somebody that's never had a pain in their life that is trying to say, well, I'm a nutrition coach. Well, but you've not been there.
Mm-hmm.
You've not had a busy professional career that you just took your life and, now you have the weekend. Well, what's the weekend? The weekend is cleaning, laundry, yard work, gardening.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's how to spend the time quality, where you take care of yourself. The self-care is a big part.
It is, isn't it? And as you said, with the women, it's flipping that script to go, I am worth it. Because the thing is, if I don't look after me first, how can I look after everyone else?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
And I'm very fortunate. I've got some collaboration partners that are actually going to be doing guest spots during my 12 weeks.
Right.
So I have an energy healer. I have a podcaster, author. She has 2 different podcasts. She's very active. She's going to be talking about the importance of movement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about digesting the food and getting in shape. It's mental clarity.
Yep.
I've got a life coach coming to talk about goals. I have a holistic pharmacist and herbalist talking about, we're going to have a nice engaging conversation about supplementation and herbs and how you can take that medicine cabinet you have and make it all natural.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I have someone I'm speaking to about doing some sonomic training and breath work. So I have some wonderful guests that are bringing more value and adding their gifts. The energy healer is amazing, and she's offered her library for 60 days to all my clients.
Oh, can you see the value add to this, guys? So much value.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's going to be a wonderful journey for anybody that joins us.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sheri. As we're winding up, is there anything I've missed off?
I don't think so.
Because you're sharing your wonderful words of wisdom that health doesn't have to be hard work.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it can be fun, enjoyable, and tasty. Beautiful. And you agree there, Puss?
Peanut, do you agree?
Well, we just got the tail in the edge.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
She's behind there now.
Well, she hasn't actually gone right in front of you yet, has she?
No, because my keyboard's right here, so she knows better. So she's going to try right now. Or she's going to lay down. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Sheri, for sharing.
Absolutely. I've enjoyed it.
Sharing with us your page to stage. For now, guys, bye from us.